Hi everyone, welcome to my yoga YouTube channel. My name is Meg and today I am going to be showing you how to do a lizard lunge pose or yoga pose or Utthan Pristhasana. This pose is really good at opening up through the hips. It's going to open up a little bit into the hamstrings as well, but it's mainly a hip stretch. I'm going to show you how to do the original pose and then how to add on and make it a little bit more difficult, and also some different variations as well. I'm only going to do a few basic variations and we're going to do a bit of mobility and more stretching, and this is just because this is a pose that can get really quite advanced, so I'm going to keep it pretty basic, but maybe in the future I'll do like a more advanced version of this class, so keep your eyes peeled for that. You don't really need anything to do this. You can use a yoga block if you want, but it doesn't really make that much difference. You could try it, play around with it, see if it works. Maybe things like placing it under forearms and things like that might help, but it's not the same as doing like a forward fold or anything like that where you could sit on it. You will be placing your knee down into the mat, so if you find that you get quite sore knees, using a cushion or a rolled up jumper or just a bit of padding under the knee is absolutely fine as well, if that's something that you feel like you might need. Other than that, you don't really need anything at all, and when you're ready we will get started. We're going to start in a tabletop. This is kind of the easiest way I find to get into it. You can go from a down dog as well, but we're keeping this basic. So let's place the hands underneath your shoulders. Your index or middle finger is facing forward and your inner elbows are spun to face forward. Your knees are underneath your hips. Let's lift the left leg up, and we're going to take this in the same sort of movement as we would if we were in a down dog. So you can move the leg out to the side. Use your hip flexor muscles to do this nice and slowly, and step the foot down next to the left hand. So we're not kind of swinging the leg. We're going to use it with control. Lift, keep the leg lifted all the way until you get down, and this is going to work your hip flexor muscles and build some strength. Your hands underneath your shoulders. Your foot should be sitting next to your left hand. Your heel is down into the mat and your toes are coming off at a 45-degree angle. Keep those hands where they are, and we'll wiggle your back knee behind to come into a stretch. So from here, you should feel a good stretch into your right hip or the front of your right hip. You might also feel it in the inside of your left as well, your left hip, and that's absolutely fine. So this is your lizard lunge. If you want to make this more advanced, you can flex the back foot and lift it to take it into like a high lizard lunge. Pushing through the hands, and you can stay here or you can come into some different variations. So we'll take the back knee down to come into your mobility exercises, and then if you want to make it harder by lifting the back leg with all of the other ones, or even if you do want to do mobility with the back leg lifted, like your hip circles for example, absolutely fine. Have a play around with it, see what feels best. Maybe you want to grab blocks and things. So this is something that I like to do pretty much every day or every morning, and it's just really good at warming up, opening up the hips, and that's to create a circle with your right hip bone. So imagine there's a pencil on your right hip bone and you're creating a circle. You want to make this a really slow and controlled movement. You can make the circle as big or as small as you want, but just focusing on making it smooth and really controlled, moving with the breath, always breathing slowly when you're doing your yoga practice. And then you can take those circles the other way. Again, focus on big, smooth circles. And this is your first kind of mobility movement. Like I said, you can always do this with the back knee lifted. You can also rock here as well, so you can kind of rock from side to side. And then I also like to rock forwards and backwards, so you can come into like a half split variation. So keep a bend into your front knee. So you want a nice soft bend behind the knee, but literally just rocking forwards and backwards. And this is going to open up through the hamstring a little bit more. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to lift up the back leg I'm sorry, and we're then going to lift up the front foot and step it back behind. So it's like we're coming back on ourselves of what we've already done. Ready to do the same thing on the other side. So coming back up into that tabletop, lifting up the right leg, picking it up and stepping it down next to the right hand to come into your lizard lunge. The heel is down into the mat and the toes are coming off the edge at a 45-degree angle. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Just walk that front knee forwards and then walk your back knee behind to come into your lizard lunge. Same thing again, rolling through the hip, creating a circle. So this time, imagine there's a pencil on your left hip bone and you're creating a nice, smooth, slow circle. A few going one way and then a few going the other way. You can rock forwards and backwards as well, coming into that half split variation. Really good way of opening up your hips. This is good to do sort of as a warm-up before you come into practice or before you start your day. Also rock the hips from side to side. You can also take this pose and kind of make it a little bit more advanced and kind of stretch out a little bit more. So if you wanted to use a yoga block, this is where you could potentially do that. And you could take the hands down or the forearms down and stretch here. And now your foot should be at the end of your mat, but if you wanted to make this a little bit harder, or some people's bodies are built differently, you could always bring the foot in towards you, but make sure your hands are still on the inside of the leg. So we're not coming into a lunge, which hands at either side of the foot. They're both on the inside of the foot. And then again, you can come down and just make sure you squeeze your knee in towards your body. Inhale to come up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Rock the hips back, pick up the knee. You can always rock the hips from side to side. And we'll do the same thing again. So we're picking up the left leg, stepping up to the top of your mat to come into your lizard lunge. We'll take the back knee behind. So you can either keep your foot to the outside edge of the mat and come down onto your forearms, or you can walk the foot in towards your body and come down onto the forearms. Keep that knee hugged in. We don't want to let it fall out. And you can always place your hands on a block as well if you want. See if you can touch the knee to the shoulder. We're going to walk the foot out to the edge of the mat if it's not already there. Your heel is down into the mat and your toes are coming off at a 45-degree angle. We're going to come into one of my absolute favorite stretches in a lizard lunge, and we're going to place the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Start to peel up the toes. You're flexing through the left foot and let the hip or the knee, fall out to the side to open up through the hip. Push through your bottom hand and start to turn to face the left hand side. So you're really opening up through the inner hips as well, and probably your outer hip on your left hand side. You can stay up onto the hand, or if you want a little bit more, you can always come down onto your right forearm and again, just push that back knee behind. Just deepening that stretch. And you can always lift your back foot as well and see if you can grab hold and twist open here. So this is quite an advanced stretch, and it is going to open up through your quads a bit more, your hips and your chest. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Coming back, so even if you couldn't get into that final pose, just coming into whatever variation feels best. So maybe step the right foot down next to the right hand, come into your lizard lunge. Maybe just flexing through your right toes and letting the knee fall out to the side. You can even have both your hands facing forward. Maybe that's enough, and that's absolutely fine. Maybe your lizard lunge is enough, and that's fine. But if you do want to add on, you can then place the left hand into the center of your mat, so your left hand is underneath your shoulder, right hand comes onto the right knee, and just start to gently push the knee back and away from you. And you can stay up onto the hand, or you can come down onto the forearm, and again, push that knee away, gazing up towards the ceiling. And if you want to add on, you can bend your back foot, grabbing hold, twisting open, but again, just doing what feels best for you. This is going to open up through that quad, through the hips, the outer hip, the glute, through the back as well. We'll come back, forwards, up. And let's come into a child's pose to finish. Bring the knees together and we'll rock the hips from side to side. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it's helped you feel a little bit more confident and get a little bit more clarity in your lizard lunges, and to help you sort of figure out what different things you can do to get yourself more confident and more comfortable as well. Keep practicing this pose because, like I said, it can get more advanced, especially when you start lifting up the back knee. There's so many different things that you can do with this pose to stretch out so many different parts of the body, but it does require quite a bit of leg strength and a bit of hip flexibility. So get yourself practicing and keep coming back to this video and keep working on this pose, and it will really help to benefit throughout all of your other yoga poses as well, because it does open up through the hips and the inner and the outer hips. It can help with the back. It can help with opening up through the chest if you're twisting, and also the quad as well if you're lifting up your back foot. If you want to work on more mobility as well, obviously there was the ones that I showed you, but you can also move through your lizard lunge and malasana squat. Now, if you're really interested in learning how to do that, I have got a malasana squat breakdown. I will pop that as like the next video that will come up. And so once this video is done, if you want, you just click on that and that will take you straight through, and I will show you how you go from a lizard lunge into a malasana or yogi or garland squat, whatever you want to call it, and back into your lizard lunge, which is really good for building strength and mobility. Really good for warming up before the gym. So it's a really nice thing to sort of know, and a kind of good exercise to have stored at the back of your head so you can bring it out and use it whenever you need to in your yoga practice, your gym workouts, whatever feels best. But I really hope you enjoyed this class, and this is one of quite a big playlist. Now it's kind of slowly growing more and more, and it's basically a breakdown of loads and loads of different yoga poses. So if you have a little look at the playlist that I'll pop up at the top, and you can have a little look at all the different poses, and it will help you to, like this one, get confidence and clarity in the pose, show you how to get into it safely and properly, and modifications and also variations as well. So you can start to build a really good, confident knowledge of each of your yoga poses. I really hope you enjoyed this class, and I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.